Today I just wanted to go over designing a build of materials within Tidy. So you must be basically on Tidy Enterprise in order to do BOM configurations. So the first thing is you go to Global Settings and you go to Materials. And the first thing you need to make sure you've done is to set up all your components. So to add a component in, you just basically add a component in. So add it in. You've got to give it a code, a name, put it into a material category. You've got to give it a cost to buy in, a cost to buy, cost to sell out, and then you basically populate the other areas just like you would with any other material item. Then you move to Assemblies, and this is where you design the BOM. So let's pretend we're going to make a BOM. Looks very similar because a BOM is a product in its own right. It's a product that you can put onto to sell. So you give it a code. You might call it mechanical kit for a Ford, for example. You'll put it into its own category. So you could have a category for BOMs. It depends on what you want to do. You won't define a cost. So the cost is pulled from the underlying components, and that's driven off their average cost. So it has nothing to do, you can't tailor that. You would then give it a charge out rate. So we'll say, look, we're selling it for Ford GST for 1,050. We'll say we're managing the stock level. We can give it a SKU if we want to, a default location, a barcode. We can pick up a default supplier, but the reality is you're not buying it in, you're making it. But let's just say you've got a product that you could either make or buy in. If you could buy it in, that's where you got a supplier default. And then you can put in a description and you can put in the designated tax rate. You'd hit save. So you build out your base information for the BOM, for the product which is the BOM. Once this is done, you are able then to put this product into a sale order or put this product into a project. But I'll show you that after we've done a bit of work on this. Okay, so that deploys your base product. You got to add your components in. So you'd basically come in and go components. And I'm going to just pick some random ad hoc ones, but I'd say I need one of those, and you can account for wastage. I need one of those, account for wastage. And it'll give me my average cost and show me update my assembly charge out price, and then hit save. So that's basically just loading in the components. And if you ever need to review them, if you come back to assembly, you can see those components there. Adjustments. So this is where you can adjust the stock levels on file if you need to. History will show you all the history of trade against that, or transactions. And you click back on this little arrow to go back to the normal one. Custom pricing is where you can set particular price points on that BOM for each client. And then you can edit it and clone it. So that's how you build out the BOM layout. Let's then pretend we're going to want to make one of these. To make one of these, if you have to in production, you would come back to the Material tab, you click on Assemblies, drill down and go Assemble. And as of right now, I want to make one. I'm going to do it in the main warehouse. So you have to make sure all your components are transferred to that location as well. And then you would basically just, there's no stock level on hand, so you can't do anything, but you'd hit proceed, and it would run a BOM for these particular products. So let's just pretend we're just going to increase the stock levels on these components. So let's just edit this, and I'm going to say stock level 34. Save, and we'll come back and we'll grab the other product. So now, once I've done these few changes, we'll have stock on hand. again. So now we should be able to come into Assemblies, click on my product and assemble. And yep, now we've got 34 on hand. So we say we want to make one. We'd hit proceed and we'd run the BOM, and the BOM would make that there's one available for sale now. So that's in a high perspective. What we're doing is we're building a product under Assembly tab called the product that we want to sell. We're then putting the components as a BOM behind it, and then we use that area to run the assembly in the system. You can then, under reports, under inventory, assembly summary, or assembly list all assembly templates and automatically filter. So in here we can actually go in and go, I want to run all assembly templates to Excel. And that will give you the assembly templates and what goes into them overall within the system. The alternative is that you can do an assembly summary, choose the particular date in which you ran the assembly, and it will print off them to give to the staff to go out and make those products. But technically speaking, you'd run those assemblies inside the system in the assembly area, and then you'd print the reports and then go out the back to be manufactured. That's what a lot of clients do, and they might brand up those reports or get Tidy to tailor out and build custom reports for that. So if you do want a workshop report, you'd have to get that tailored and built by Tidy, and they do charge for that the actual tailoring. All right, so now that we've actually got a product, what we can do is if we go back to a project, you can see that we can actually, in the material catalog against the project, you can add that material in. Mechanical kit, we'll bring in the cost and charge out rate, and you can add that in. So ultimately, you've got to put a quantity of 1. Well, we won't let that's the idea. You can then attribute that material cost to that project. So you can bring it up and attribute it. Alternatively, if you're in the sales process, you can go new sale now. You can sell that out, and you'll be able to complete it because you've actually made one in the stock levels. The thing to bear in mind is you need to make sure that you've made it in order to sell it. So that's why you've got to run the BOM. If you've got any other questions on builder materials, please contact us, Integration Kings, and we should be able to navigate you through doing this within the Tidy product range. Thanks all.